Some men are broken by betrayal. Others are forged by it. This is the story of a boy sold by his own brothers, who would one day hold their lives in his hands. His name was Joseph, the 11th son of Jacob, born to Rachel, the wife his father loved most. From the day he was born, Joseph was different. Jacob loved Joseph more than all his other children, and he showed it. He gave him a coat, a rich, ornate robe of many colors, unlike anything his brothers owned. To Joseph, it was a gift of love, but to his 10 older brothers, it was a wound that would fester into hatred. The brothers could not speak a kind word to him. Every glance at that colorful coat reminded them their father's heart belonged to another. Then Joseph had a dream, and in his youth, he made the mistake of telling it. "We were binding sheaves in the field," he said, "and my sheaf rose and stood upright. Then your sheaves gathered around and bowed down to mine." His brothers seethed. "Do you intend to reign over us? Will you actually rule us?" And they hated him all the more. Then he dreamed again. "The sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowed down to me." Even his father rebuked him. Yet Jacob kept the words in his heart. One day, the brothers were grazing the flocks far away near Shechem. Jacob sent Joseph to check on them. They saw him coming from a distance, and before he reached them, they plotted to kill him. "Here comes the dreamer," they said. "Let's see what becomes of his dreams." Reuben, the eldest, intervened. "Let's not take his life. Throw him into this pit instead. He hoped to rescue him later." So they stripped Joseph of his coat, the coat of many colors, and threw him into the empty pit. Then they sat down to eat. From the darkness of the pit, Joseph pleaded, but his cries met only silence and the sound of his brothers sharing bread. Then a caravan appeared on the horizon. Ishmaelite traders bound for Egypt, camels loaded with spices. Judah had an idea. "What do we gain if we kill our brother? Let's sell him instead." And so, for 20 pieces of silver, they sold Joseph into slavery. They dipped his coat in goat's blood and brought it to their father. Jacob recognized it and was shattered. "A wild beast has devoured my son." Jacob mourned for many days and refused to be comforted. But Joseph was not dead. He was alive and headed toward a destiny no one could imagine. The caravan carried him across the wilderness into Egypt, a land of pyramids, palaces, and power he had never seen. There, Joseph was sold to Potiphar, captain of Pharaoh's guard, one of the most powerful men in Egypt. But even in slavery, something set Joseph apart. The Lord was with him, and everything he touched prospered. Potiphar noticed. He put Joseph in charge of his entire household, his fields, his wealth, everything he owned. Joseph had grown into a handsome, capable young man, and that beauty drew a dangerous eye, the eye of Potiphar's wife. Day after day, she pursued him. "Come, lie with me." But Joseph refused. "How could I do such a wicked thing and sin against God?" One day, she caught his cloak and demanded again. He fled, leaving the garment in her hand, and her desire turned to fury. She screamed for the servants and accused him of assault. When Potiphar returned, she showed him the cloak as false proof. Potiphar burned with anger. Without a trial, Joseph, innocent, was thrown into the king's prison. Once again, Joseph lost everything. First his family, now his freedom. But once again, God had not abandoned him. Even in that dungeon, the Lord gave Joseph favor. The warden placed all the prisoners under his care. Then 2 new prisoners arrived, Pharaoh's chief cupbearer and chief baker, both cast into prison after offending the king. One night, both men had troubling dreams. Joseph saw their downcast faces and asked, "Why so sad? Do not interpretations belong to God?" The cupbearer spoke first. "I saw a vine with 3 branches that budded, blossomed, and ripened into grapes, which I pressed into Pharaoh's cup." Joseph said, "In 3 days Pharaoh will restore you. Remember me then, and mention me to Pharaoh, for I was stolen and imprisoned unjustly." Then the baker shared his dream. 3 baskets of bread on my head, and the birds were eating from the top basket. Joseph's answer was grim. In 3 days, Pharaoh will take your life. And in 3 days, exactly as he said, both dreams came true. The cupbearer was restored to his place beside Pharaoh. But he forgot Joseph. For 2 long years, Joseph remained in prison, forgotten. Then Pharaoh himself had a dream that no one could explain. 7 fat cows came out of the Nile. Then 7 gaunt cows devoured them. Then 7 full heads of grain were swallowed by 7 thin, scorched heads. Pharaoh awoke, deeply troubled. He summoned all the magicians and wise men of Egypt, but none could interpret the dream. Then, at last, the cupbearer remembered. I remember a Hebrew in prison, he said, who interpreted my dream, and everything happened just as he foretold. So Pharaoh sent for Joseph. They shaved him, changed his clothes, and brought him from the dungeon to stand before the king of Egypt. Pharaoh said, I have heard you can interpret dreams. Joseph replied, I cannot, but God will give Pharaoh the answer he desires. Joseph listened, then spoke. The dreams are one. 7 years of great abundance are coming to Egypt, followed by 7 years of terrible famine. The famine will be so severe it will consume the land. God has shown Pharaoh what he is about to do, and it will happen soon. Let Pharaoh appoint a wise man to store grain during the years of plenty, so the land will survive the years of famine. Pharaoh was amazed. Can we find anyone like this man, in whom is the Spirit of God? And he made a stunning decision. Since God has made all this known to you, there is no one as wise as you. You shall be over my house. Only in the throne will I be greater. Pharaoh dressed Joseph in fine linen, placed a gold chain around his neck, and set him over all of Egypt. The slave had become a ruler. He rode in a chariot as second in command, and people bowed before him, crying, Make way. Joseph was 30 years old. Just as he foretold, 7 years of abundance came. Joseph gathered grain like the sand of the sea, beyond measure. Then the 7 years of famine began, and it struck not only Egypt, but every surrounding land, including Canaan, the home of Joseph's family. When Jacob heard there was grain in Egypt, he sent 10 of his sons to buy food, but he kept Benjamin, the youngest, at home. The brothers arrived in Egypt and bowed before the governor, not knowing the powerful ruler before them was the brother they had sold. Joseph recognized them at once, and in that moment, his childhood dream came true, his brothers bowing before him. He hid his identity and tested them. He accused them of being spies and demanded they bring their youngest brother, Benjamin. He kept Simeon as a hostage and sent the rest home with grain, secretly returning their silver in their sacks. When the food ran out, Jacob was forced to send Benjamin. With heavy hearts, the brothers returned to Egypt once more. Joseph welcomed them to a feast. When he saw Benjamin, his own mother's son, he was so moved he had to leave the room to weep. He tested them one final time, hiding his silver cup in Benjamin's sack, then accusing the boy of theft to see if the brothers would abandon him. But this time was different. Judah stepped forward and begged to take Benjamin's place, offering himself as a slave to spare their father's grief. Joseph could hold back no longer. He sent everyone out. Then, weeping aloud, he cried, I am Joseph. Is my father still alive? His brothers were terrified and speechless. But Joseph said, Come close to me. I am Joseph, the brother you sold into Egypt. Do not be distressed or angry with yourselves. It was not you who sent me here, but God, to save many lives. He kissed them all and wept. The betrayal that began in a pit ended in an embrace of grace. Pharaoh welcomed the family to Egypt, giving them the best of the land. And Jacob, old and grieving, saw his lost son alive at last. Joseph's journey, from favored son to slave to prisoner to ruler, reveals a truth that echoes still. What others mean for evil, God can use for good. If this story touched you, subscribe and let faith carry you through your own journey.